Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. New Kids on the Block. I know. Look, here's my take on this stuff. Two things. There's a lot of podcasters and people online and really stuck-up music fans who think they're so intellectual as they sit in their basement with their little homemade audio setups and microphones they bought off of Amazon while their mom is cooking meatloaf for them upstairs and they're doing their laundry in the background while they sit and criticize music. I've always had a very different take. My take on these boy bands is it's 40 years later. New Kids on the Block have a new residency at the Park MGM in Las Vegas. The Backstreet Boys are playing the Sphere next month, which has been reserved for the largest of the largest bands in every industry. And these guys pack it in. It's been 40 years. Let me say that again. It's been 40 years. Everybody rolled their eyes at them back then, except for their fan base. And here's their fan base in their 40s, in their 50s, that are older, that are established financially, that can afford to take a girl's trip to Vegas with 10 of you guys and pay God knows what for tickets and pack it in. And here's another take. It's fun. The music's fun. A lot of fun went away from music. So I don't knock these boy bands at all. I really don't. I've been to them before. I've seen most of them. They're fun. Look, take it with a grain of salt for me because it's not music I would normally be into. But if you can't sit at a concert and look around and see thousands and thousands, in some cases tens of thousands, if not more, people that are happy, that are dancing, that are reliving their childhood, then there's something wrong with you. You're just an angry person. You need to change your ways. So, that being said, when I saw Backstreet Boys at the residency and I was on the fence and then I looked at ticket prices and they were so cheap. And I just said, how can I not? How can I not do the review for anybody who wants to go? And whatever. It's a Saturday night in Vegas. Look, I was in the fourth level and my favorite seats, dead center, fourth level at that place. Fourth level is not bad in that venue as long as you stay towards the middle. I paid $60 all in a ticket, but I wanted specific seats. I wanted aisle seats. I have certain seats that I like there. But I could tell you for a day or two before the show, there were tons of tickets that were $20 to $25 on the fourth level in the middle section, all in with fees, with everything. So you got to imagine and you got to say to yourself, that might be a show for the girls, but hey, that actually might be a show for the guys because you can take your girlfriend or your wife or pay for your wife and her friends to go see New Kids on the Block in Las Vegas, a big show on a Friday night or Saturday night, and you can get 2 tickets for $50 all in. You are not going to find a better deal in the world for entertainment. So I don't see how that's a bad thing at all. So I paid a little more. I could have paid cheaper. If you want to wait and pay, the tickets were so cheap. And it wasn't like an hour before the show. It was like a day or two before the show. Hours before the show, I think you could have got tickets for $10 or $15. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I tried to pull up the set list, and they had the set list for Friday night show and the one for Saturday night show. Somebody started updating it from the concert, but somehow, I don't know if she got too drunk, but she gave up at around the 14th song. So I'm going to try and piece together because I really didn't know a lot of songs. I think most of it's here if I add the ends of the Friday night. So let me get into the show. Again, you might have seen me there. I was one of the 17 men that were in that place because the rest of it was all women, groups and packs of women. Some were packs of 3, some were packs of 20. They were having the time of their lives. Not the worst thing. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people would hate on that. New Kids on the Block showed up, and they know their job. I saw them years ago. They were part of this mixtape tour or something. They were the headliners, and back then I loved what they did. They kept breaking up their show, and they do 3 songs, and then like Rick Astley would come out and do 1 or 2 hits, and then they would go back and do 3 or 4 songs, and then Salt and Pepper would come out and do a song or 2. I loved that setup. But this was a straight-up residency, no opening act. It went on, started about 8:30. Look, man, these guys are so big. They're larger than life. They look almost like cartoon characters at this point just because they're so recognizable. But they look great. They look age appropriate, but for some weird way, they still look like they're in a boy band. I don't know what it is. They're good looking. They all look really good. They all have full heads of hair. They're all in shape. They can all move really well. They all stayed in shape. I don't know what happens when they get off stage, but on stage they look like they can dance, they can sing, they have the right attitude, and they know that they're there for their diehard fans. I think they called them blockheads. I think that's what he called them. And they give these people, these girls, these women, maybe some men, not me, whatever. They give them everything they want. They give them everything they could have dreamed of. They are very appreciative. They know that these girls are flying in from all over the place. They know these girls were in love with them. They make jokes about it. They had a fake wedding even during the show that they're gonna marry their blockhead fans. And they just perform. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they just give you everything they want. Okay, let me get into it. They started with Twisted, Block Party. Let me say something about the stage, too. The stage was awesome. I've seen a lot of shows there. They did a really cool job. Outside of having the large stage at the Dolby, at the Park MGM, it extended out and made like a box. And in the middle of the box, I'm sure they were super expensive, fans could sit right in the middle of the stage. So the guys are dancing around them, and then there's a little pathway through the box where they go down into the fans and then up on the other side of the stage. Plus, around the whole stage, there were bar stools, almost like a strip joint, like a dancing stage, where you could sit on the stage and have your arms on the stage. Never saw that before. But they made the most of that space, and I tried my best to get all the videos. The problem is when you have 5 people in a band and they're running in 5 different directions, it's hard to get good pictures. It's hard to get good videos. Anyway, Twisted, Block Party. Right out of the gate, you could just sense this was going to be just fun. It's a fun, entertaining night. Single, My Favorite Girl. See, this girl wrote Block Party again. That's not right. They didn't play Block Party twice. I don't know who this drunk girl is who posted this set list, but she's off. The Right Stuff, remix. I like the Dirty Dancing, Boys in the Band, boy band anthem. Dance With You, My Favorite Girl. She wrote Dance With You again. God. Give It To You, a Jordan Knight song. Tonight, I know Tonight. I know Right Stuff. I know the big hits. Tonight, I actually always liked from them. I always thought it didn't sound like one of their songs. I don't want to say Beatles, but it has a Beatle-esque to it. It's a cool little song. It doesn't sound like anything other song you've ever heard. I like that song. This is where the set list dies. So this is 14 songs. They definitely did more songs than this. They did a bunch of songs. I didn't know most of them in the middle, so I apologize. Hopefully someone will update the set list. But it looks like the set list does change every night. So if you're coming for the show, the tickets are cheap enough and you're a diehard fan, maybe get 2 nights if you want to hear all your hits. Buy the Friday nights, buy Saturday nights. The tickets are cheap. Okay, so let me jump to Friday night. This might be right. After Tonight, they did a song called Whisper. And again, if I'm wrong with any of this, I apologize. Whisper, I know. So this was cool. This I really liked. They had 5 of these phone booth looking things that they all went into, and they were tied to a big rig, and it lifted them up in the air, and it pulled them out towards the crowd. And I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't thinking they go out 10 or 20 feet. They kept coming and coming and coming. They literally went all the way to the 4th level. If you're going to be on the 4th level, there's going to be a part of the show where these guys are going to be a few feet away from you. And good for them, man. They spent a lot of money to build that rig so that they can go up and be there with the people at the top level. And I thought that was pretty good. And they are right up there with you. And I don't know, like I said, they look larger than life. They look like cartoon characters at this point. They're just something about it. Hold on. This girl, yeah, somewhere in these other songs, I just remembered, they did Please Don't Go Girl, which that's the ballad by Joey. I like that song. God, this girl screwed up the set list. I apologize. So Please Don't Go Girl was in there. You're going to get all the hits, put it that way. All the hits you're going to get in the show. They're just going to mix up those ones in the middle. I think those are deeper cuts for their fans. Anyway, so the Whispers, they did the phone books. It's really cool. I actually really enjoyed that. I thought it was really nice. Then they did I'll Be Loving You Forever, which was a big ballad that they had. And then they did their big Step by Step, and then Kids, and then they closed with Hanging Tough and We Will Rock You. I think I got that right. I got some of that right. That's about 70 to 80% right. So for me, that's pretty good. Anyway, that's the set list. But like I said, it looks like they're changing it up every night, which is a nice thing. I think they know that their fans come for a few nights and want to hear a bunch of different stuff, deep hits. So good for them. Look, it's a good show. Is it the best show in the world? For me, no. But if you're a fan, you're going to be in heaven. You're going to be in heaven. This is the greatest thing you can do at a really affordable fight. As a non-fan, if you're taking a girl, if you're taking someone, if you're going by yourself, it's so cheap. You're on the Las Vegas Strip in a premier venue, in a premier hotel, watching one of the biggest boy bands, if not the biggest boy band of all time. And it's entertaining. It's entertainment. And it's cheaper than seeing some cheap burlesque show on the Strip. That's the truth. Carrot Top is $70, $80 a ticket. You can get tickets for $25, $20 with fees. You're not going to do better than that. You're really not. So, to me, look, scale of 1 to 10, I have to break it up. If you're a fan, I think that's a 9.5 show. If you're a non-fan like me, I honestly would give it like a 7.4. However, because remember when you were in class as a kid, there was a learning curve. So because the tickets were so cheap, you have to put a learning curve on it. I would put that as like an 8.1 because of the value that you're getting for that price on the Strip. You're not going to do better. Guys, if your girl's saying, or if she doesn't even sing, if you want to take your girl to the Strip on a date night and you can drop $50 on 2 tickets with the fees, dude, if you drop $100, spend a little more, get better seats. That's nothing. That's a deal. That show is for you. It's not for them. Trust me. And you will be entertained. You're not going to be sitting there bored. It's entertaining. You got to look. There's a moment he pulls out Jenny McCarthy's there, Donnie's wife. You got to see that for a minute. That'll make you happy. But it's good people watching, and it's good energy. And I don't know what else you can ask for. So I'm going to give it a curve, 8.1. 8.1. I would even say maybe a little higher, but 8.1 is about right for me. Thanks for listening. I can't even believe I talked a song about New Kids on the Block. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Subscribe, comment if you've seen it. Help me build up this channel, and I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.